Now this is a good looking piece. And cunningly disguised so it won't look like a racing car, you know? The cops won't give it a second glance. But then again, at nearly 200 miles an hour, will they be able to get a second glance? I'm not going further with that line. I can't do it. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're taking a look at another one of the Velocitron Speedia 500 toys. And this time around we're looking at Clampdown. Clampdown is another character that's a little bit of an oddity in the Transformer world. This one is based out of the Diaclone universe and works alongside Deep Cover as a part of an exchange program the Autobots set up with Earth's police forces. So he works in conjunction with a branch of the police department in Tokyo. It's not surprising. His toy itself is a redeco of Siege Sideswipe, which should come as real no surprise. But he also takes some things from Red Alert. Although he's supposed to take more from the newer release of Red Alert from the Kingdom line. Mine here is from the Siege line. I have not yet been able to secure a Kingdom released Red Alert, thanks to Hasbro's toy shipping delays. And of course the pandemic made it hard to find him, since he was an exclusive to Walgreens pharmacies. But at any rate, it makes him it does make him something of an interesting figure, since he'll definitely have a radicalized alternate mode in the process. But if there is anything also to take from it, it also means he can use a lot of the blast effects that came with the previous waves of toys. How you feel about that depends on how you felt about having all those blast effects. At any rate, let's take a look at Clampdown's parts. We'll start with his light bar. It's a pretty standard red light bar that would be mounted on top of an emergency vehicle. It shares a lot in common with the one that came with the Siege Red Alert, except that one was painted in white instead of being painted in gray. And next up, we'll take a look at his other weapon to go with it. That is, of course, a gun. I always thought it was stupid that this thing could be doubled as an axe, since he'd have to hold it by the barrel. And that's just dumb, no matter how you slice it. And of course, unfortunately, it matches the same color as the one that came with Red Alert. So unfortunately, there's not much that can be done about that, other than to be careful when buying one loose. And then, of course, lastly is the shoulder cannon here, which, as you can see, here's the one from Sideswipe, and it's pretty much the same color. although the tips are removable. But then that's where it really gets different. The one on Sideswipe could double as an added gun, since it has a post at the bottom. The one that comes here with Clampdown has no such post. So it is intended to be just a missile tip. Quite a considerable difference, my friends. At any rate, let's take a look at Clampdown and look at his articulation. You can turn his head from side to side, and he can look up and down a bit since he's on a ball joint. His arms can go out to the side about so far, and they rotate at the shoulder all the way around. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees. And he does have a swivel at the bicep, so he features G.I. Joe styled battle grip. He can be twisted at the hip, so he's got some dance moves going there. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a thigh cut, so you can turn his legs outward, but they will not turn inward. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, he does not disappoint on the articulation side. Okay, to transform Clampdown, it's a very simple process. We'll start by popping his waist free, and you fold the hood up and over his head. Then we'll fold down the waist piece so it goes over his head. Raise his arms out to the side so that we can fold out these little panels. Bend his arms at the elbow and then fold his hands inward. So that way we can fold the arm back down and then fold it in at the shoulder. So it goes in just like that. And we're going to turn him at his hip all the way around. Open up his legs. Push back any loose plastic that's up here at the knee joint so that we can fold in his feet. You know, snap his legs together. Fold them up and over like so. Once they're in position, fold these panels in to lock them up, and then fold down the side panels to close the doors. Then, of course, to complete the look, attach the light bar to the top of the car. And we now have him as a stylized Lamborghini police car. Of course, since Clampdown has two weapons, we can clamp both weapons to the sides of the car, like so. And then he's a more heavily armed police car. Of course, for comparison's sake, there's Sideswipe. And again, Kingdom Red Alert to go along with it. All in all, not a bad lineup. The only disappointing thing with Clampdown is the fact that he's part of a mold that's been used quite a lot in the past number of years. You know, Sideswipe has been released twice. First like that, as you see there, and then the Amazon exclusive one that did him in the G2 colors. Then he also had Red Alert in the same toy line. Then Red Alert would get released again in the Kingdom line. Then we'd get a couple of deep covers that would be, again, from this same mold. And then now we get Clampdown. So the mold's been used quite a lot lately, and obviously it's not going to hold much of a challenge for most Transformer fans, because we know how to do it by heart by now. But all in all, I do like how he's presented as a police vehicle, because it is nicely done and detailed. And at least they made enough changes to the mold on it to make him stand out a little bit more. Plus, by having two sets of weapons to come with, he can be decked out on both sides, and you not have to worry about what's up with the blind side on him. So that's kind of cool. At any rate, that's my look at the Velocitron version of Clampdown. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you like the content that we feature here on this channel, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.